Hello and welcome to another Parkinson's Walks Friday vlog. Welcome. I have to say, if you tuned in just to watch the Highworth branch video, that comes up after the vlog, so go forward 20 minutes or so and you'll find it there. I just don't want to be accused of clickbait. Right, okay, so we'll go through any other business to get started then, which takes us back here a couple of weeks now. Do you remember the Bovril debate that was rumbling around on the channel a little while ago? Well, someone's commented here. I didn't provide a name, unfortunately, only a tag, so I don't know who it is. But apparently Peter Ustinov said that when his mother first came to this country, she wondered why so many stations were called Bovril. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Oh dear. An old Jim enjoyed the Bodmin bus ride, and he says that the choice of John Lennon's Imagine was entirely appropriate. I did wonder about that, because that song produced a lot of controversy when it first came out, but anyway, looks like we got away with it. Now here's a lovely story then, going back on now, we're on track now for the last 2 weeks' films. First one was a river walk from Fairford, you might remember. And then last week's we'll get on to that in a minute. Right, okay, so what I haven't got started yet and I'm already misfiring. Marilyn. Our Marilyn, the older sister, said it was a lovely walk around Fairford by the river. Reminded me of taking my little daughters out one hot summer's day to the Colne near Lechlade. We found a lovely clean sandy bit that we could all sit in and stay cool under the trees. Ah, happy days, Marilyn, happy days. Lovely. Modrin, I've only been a subscriber for a short time, but you and my fellow subscribers have made me feel part of the family. You're welcome, Mo. Glad to have you aboard. Barry. Thanks for a pleasant stroll, he says. Again you film running water, so where's the health warning you promised? I fear Barry has a rather weak bladder, so any running water gets him running around. Sorry about that, Barry. I did promise you a health warning, didn't I? Sorry about that. Engage on a shelf. Simon was the hairy golfer as well, but that seems to have gone quiet, Simon, didn't it? As you said it would. Right. Poor old Simon. He does work hard. He says, there's always work to do, as you know. I took the car to have the brakes looked at, got a haircut while waiting, finished clearing the train room, moved all the timber into the attic, moved all the rubbish outside. Then Madam wanted to go look for a chair in the now vacated room. No doubt she'll have me painting it before the end of the week. Poor old Simon. He's working you to death, mate. And as you well know, Simon, that's just the start, isn't it? Eh? That's just the start. Oh well. Lionel and Mary travels. Lionel's like with Mary, the lovely Mary, filming Avebury, Houses and Gardens. Yeah, nice film. And he says, with a nice gentle river walk. I reckon that might have been filmed in the springtime, judging by the state of the sown field. Yes, Lionel has farming in his background, and once a farmer, always a farmer, I suppose, and he notices these things that we don't. I can't remember when it was filmed, Lionel, to be honest with you, but I'm sure you'll be right. Peter Smith, lovely river walk, he says. There's something magical about a fast-flowing Cotswold stream, brook, river, call it what you will, with its bell-like sounds and looking nice enough to drink. Alas, no more can I explore such walks. Well, You're not alone in that, Peter. There's quite a few of us these days who are knocking on a bit and not finding things as easy as they used to be. Yeah, well. West Country Wanderings, our Paul, who's been wandering the West Country. If you look at his channel, crikey, he doesn't get about. I finally get a chance to watch this on a Friday morning, he says, because he's normally diving off somewhere on a Friday. I think he watched the last one on the train going on his way down to Cornwall. He said it was only a short visit to Cornwall, but my daughter and me managed to do a short bite video on the Liscard Carradon Railway. Good, well we'll look to that, look forward to that being published then, young Paul. Right, David from Spain. Oh, he's sweltering down there in Spain at the moment. Oh, worth thinking about. He says a lovely walk by the river, a magnificent weeping willow in the background, and on the mill pond those ducks looked happy to see you. Maybe there was a bit of cheese and pickle sandwich heading their way. Not likely, I don't share. David says he always enjoys seeing watermills wherever they are. They always seem to be a pleasant walk to be had. Yeah, well, yes, I suppose they've got to be by some stream or river, haven't they? Yeah. Right. He says the heat has been incessant, well into the 40s. Crikey me. I mean, we're about 28 here today, and it's as much as we can take. Right. We've come up with a cunning plan. Oh, good. We like a cunning plan for the kitchen, as our poor old fridge freezer has been struggling. We simply pulled it out of the cupboard, pointed a fan at it. It seems to work. It does make it a bit complicated if both Nura and I are in the kitchen as well. You know what they say, two's company, fridges a crowd. He said, I'll get my coat yet. I think you should. Michael from Poland. Greetings from Poland, he said. What a lovely walk from 7 years ago. Yeah, haven't things changed in 7 years, Croy? I doubt that the scenes we saw, though, have changed in hundreds of years. No, you're right there, Michael, I'm sure. Lovely to hear from all your subscribers from around the world. It's very interesting to learn that many of us are getting on in years, but capable of behaving like hooligans. True, very true. You know who you are. Jim Nichols. A lovely walk, he says. I was intrigued by the little chain link gate you went through near the end. Yeah, I sort of folded up and opened out. Yeah, with a clip on the top. Most unusual, that. Jim says, I don't think I've seen one like that before. It cheered me up watching it because I've been struck down by a nasty bout of cellulitis, not recommended, and with a few other things going wrong around here, it's not been a good time. Oh dear, sorry to hear that, Jim. Let's hope things soon start to get better. Charles Patterson. Right, here we go then. My question is, he says, with the various segments of masonry works along the river and at the path and bridge crossings, would those have been for other mills no longer standing? Ah, the path distinctly went deeper into the fields away from the roads. Well, they used to work those streams pretty hard, didn't they? So, yeah, that could well be the case, Charles. Right, the film from last week's film, which was the Severn Valley Railway, a visit to the station at Kidderminster. Now, shock, surprise there, and William Morris was the first to point it out. Kidderminster Severn Valley Railway Station is only 40 years old. So, I mean, it looks as if it's been there forever. It's only 40 years old. And Rob Ridgway says, a lovely look around Kidderminster Garden, Rob. But sorry to correct you, don't worry about that, Rob. Don't worry about correcting me. It's the only way we get anything good done on this channel. It says, the old station was constructed by the Severn Valley Railway following the purchase of the former goods yard from British Rail. I believe the design was based on that at Ross-on-Wye. It is indeed a beautiful building and was constructed in stages. Well I'm blown. And Garth Cox added more information. The SVR station isn't original, he says. It was a new build in 1984. Well I'm blown. The current National Rail station is the redeveloped original. Ah, so yeah, it makes sense. I agree, the Severn Valley Railway Station looks like it's been there forever. It's really well done. Oh well, you saved my bacon there, Garth. Yes, if you say it's been there for ages and it's been well done, and it looked as if it's been there for ages, and I'm trying to find an excuse. Didn't do much research there then, did I? Oh well. Maurice Mannion, Maurice says, what a lovely heritage railway the Severn Valley Railway is. Hats off to the Severn Valley Railway for all their hard work in the railway preservation field. Yes, this is the bit that got to me. If I lived in Kidderminster, he said, I'd have my morning coffee in the station every morning and enjoy an atmosphere of a bygone age. Can you imagine popping in there every morning just for a cup of coffee and looking around? Wouldn't that be gorgeous? Wow. Well, almost makes you want to move to Kidderminster, that. Yeah, well done, Maurice. Malcolm Richardson. It's a very enjoyable wander around the very spacious and beautifully maintained Severn Valley Railway Kidderminster Station, in marked contrast with its BR neighbour a few yards away, which I assume occupies the site of the original GWR Kidderminster Station. It does indeed, yes, you're right there, Malcolm. He said, with a spur off to Bridge North and beyond. Yep, you're absolutely right. Lionel again, Lionel and Mary Travels. Lionel liked the recreation of the W.H. Smith bookstore. Almost every station in the country must have had one of those on the platform. Yeah, of course, we always remember those, don't we? W.H. Smith bookstore. David from Spain. That's not Trev up there, is it? We haven't heard from Trev for a while. Trev, I hope you're alright. We were suffering going back a little while, so let's hope you're okay. That's too quiet for you, isn't it, mate? If you were up there, you'd be down at another 500 feet at least. Right. David from Spain. I'm gobsmacked, he said, to read in the comments that the SVR station is a relatively recent construction built over the old goods yard. Yeah, and I have to say, I read these out. I go just cherry picking the comments to keep it down to a sensible level. I can thoroughly recommend you go into the comments and read the whole thing. There's a heck of a lot more information there than you'll get from here. Some lovely contributors in there too. I try my best to include you all, folks. Right. Yes, David says you wouldn't really think it was a new build. It's been perfectly weathered. Yeah. I'm on my hauls now, he says, and getting up early before the sun. You're on your holiday and you're getting up early before the sun. I generally go the other way when I'm on a holiday, David. Well, I had to do my task and shutter down the house. It's going to be plus 40 again for the next few days. I hope I don't wilt. Crikey, we hope you don't as well, David. Yeah, good luck with that, mate. Engage on a shelf, Simon. Oh, he said a very nice class 4, although it could do with a clean and polish. A dirty loco like that would not be permitted on my railway, he says. Don't engage on a shelf. Did you decide to keep the same name, Simon, for your new project? Because Simon's building, or is moving his layout, the engage on a shelf, from the spare room up into the roof. And he's also detailing his build of the railway up there. He's put the insulation up there now, so dormer windows put in there, electrics are on their way. He's working hard, this poor Simon. Yeah, well done, mate. Right. But anyway, he didn't allow dirty railways on his dirty trains on his railway. I did spot an auto coach in the background, he says. I would have to swarm all over that. Be interested to see what the cab looks like. Yeah. The old auto coaches. That's where the driver got from at the loco end, went up to the other end and drove the train from there, didn't he? And Simon wonders about how the connections were made. You know, the steam pipes and the vacuum pipes and everything else, I guess. They left the fireman in the engine, didn't they? They had to stay down there and stoke the fire still. Yeah. Oh. How did they come off for the whistle then? Was the fireman in charge or the engine driver? Or both? Interesting subject. Interesting subject. Barry. Many thanks, he says. No dripping water. So I assume no incontinent old men that were harmed during the making of this film. We should spare a thought for the businesses that sprung up around the railways. First the legitimate ones, porters, tea and refreshment ladies with trolleys, boot cleaners, taxis, original horses and buggies, railway hotels, probably bug ridden, well, it could be, public houses, purveyors of periodicals and less than a penny novels, bill posters and flower sellers. Yeah, all those people started their businesses, their jobs because of the railways, of course. And then he said, perhaps for fun, some of the illegal ones. Hawkers, pickpockets, ladies of the night, cottagers. What's a cottager, Barry? A cottager. Con men, false ticket collectors, fare dodgers, gypsies selling charms and telling the fortunes, and the sellers of shoddy and shady goods. Yeah. There again, all produced because the railways turned up. Amazing. Michael finishes us off today. Greetings from Poland. Fabulous video, he said. So much to see. I can't understand why this station line was closed in the first place. I would love to know how the decision was made in the Beechin report to close this magnificent line. Did they ever produce a rationale as to which ones were closed and why? They must have done, really. Somebody had one. Yeah, right. Okay, now we've bombed to that because the archive film this week is a bit long. It's 20 minutes. And it's the Swindon to Highworth branch line, which I filmed quite some time ago. So I'll rattle that up in a few seconds time. And then next week we've done all the stations on the Severn Valley Railway, top to bottom. So now we're going to ride the rails. And one part to look out for towards the end when we're filming the steam engine pulling the rake, how that thing bounces about. I can't see how the fireman and the driver stay on it. It's all over the place, it really is. It struck me. So we'll be down there then, so we'll start at Kidderminster. I'll see you there then on next Friday. Don't be late. Trailhead for today then, and we're in the delightful little Cotswold village of Stanton Fitzwarren, just north of Swindon, and we're heading down there, which is called Mill Lane, but in actual fact was known as Station Road. Now you start to get the message. Map wise this is a bit grim. I don't know why I bought this really. So you can see the line here coming from Swindon and heading to the terminus in Highworth. The bit we're walking is down here. Oh, we're going to have to wing it. Oh, that's worth a shot. In fact, this is us. Branch line, 6 or 7 miles from Swindon out to here. This is the level crossing gate. And then tucked into the hedge, this rather nice railway kissing gate. Rather substantial. Across the other side of the road, line of the railway. And that there, or a portion of it once was, the station porter's house. Didn't have anything so grand as a station master. We had a head porter. Over the level crossing and onward. Oh, it's just turned into a bit of a mystery tour, it feels like. There's a railway here somewhere. It's a branch line, 6 or 7 miles long, open to Highworth, just down the road. and it was opened in 1883, closed to passengers in 1953, but was still used as freight in 1961, and it was basically to take fresh produce from these lush meadows into Swindon. I think if you're looking very carefully, you could probably just about make out the embankment. So we're following the line of the railway here. There's a better shot of the embankment, which as you can see is revetted with a Cotswold stone wall, not the usual wire and post fencing. Landowner must have had a good grip on them here. And now we actually walk out onto the railway. That's where it's come from, that's where we've come from. But we head in this direction, up the line. Over to our left we can just make out the views to Stanton Fitzwarren, where we started. There remains of an old bridge here, look, tucked away, still standing. Of course it's showing signs of weathering now. We're now walking alongside the embankment, which as you can see is still revetted with Cotswold stone. Hard to imagine why they would go to that expense. Either the landowner forced them to, or this was a bit of a showpiece. Embankment on our left. Trudging along, rather pleasant. And as we trudge off here now, we get to what was a farm level crossing. So a short way back there they had a bridge, here they've got a level crossing, they've got Cotswold stone revetments on the side of the banking. Spent a fortune on this little piece. That's the track bed from the direction we've just come from, slightly impenetrable, and that's the way we're headed now. Well, we've gone from an embankment to a cutting. Usual railway really, this part of the world. Do one or the other. Just make out the usual railway fence posts on top of the embankment. Lets you know you're on the right track, as it were. Yet another level crossing. Track straight ahead. Helpful. Cutting, now embankment. That beautiful line. The embankment here has got this sort of squashed down look, and that's to spread the load over the rather marshy ground to either side, such as you can see just there. Beautiful line. Very modern tapered concrete posts there. Some of which the ivy has taken over. I have the impression of walking in a big wood here. I suppose we are. The steam would have blown those leaves out of the way. And trackside remains of a ramp. A nice wooden structure on it. Lunch spot, I think. Ah, there's nothing in our book to indicate its purpose. You have to think it's spanned across to the other side of the railway. Don't ask. Cheese and pickle. My information suggests this was actually an occupation bridge. It's a big feat of engineering just to get a farmer from one field to the next. And this appears to be just a wooden folly. Rather nice. wooden ramp leading to the dirt ramp. And you can just see the post there in the side, confirming it's railway. Well, lunch over, we'll pop across the other side and have a quick look. That's the side we've just come from, and that has concrete abutment, I think, though I can see some bricks. Whereas on this side, it's predominantly brick. It's curious. Looking back, we can just about make out our lunch spot through the trees. Then on this side, the path takes a left turn. Wanders off down here. Old security fence posts. And unbelievably, remains of the old gate. Wow. A working hinge. And then on this side is the other side of the gate post, covered in ivy, but definitely the post, because here, hidden away, is the old latch. And guess what? Still works. That's engineering for you. The only curious thing about the whole setup to me is that there's the ramp coming down from the overbridge. And it turns around and goes that way to where the gate is, which crosses the railway. Don't quite understand the logic. Although there's kind of a track that runs in that direction, which is parallel to the railway. Oh, perhaps that's it. Back on the trail. Views off to the side are probably what you'd expect this time of year. You have to wonder why Great Western built it, and built it so well. I guess the answer must lie in Swindon and the new Swindon Works. Imported lots of workers, skilled workers into Swindon, and they needed food. Here was a bread basket as such, and so they built a line to supply their workers. The area we're approaching now is the end of the line for us. Although the railway does carry on 3 or 4 miles, actually to Highworth. We now trace a course on our way back. This was in fact a level crossing just of here. Again, horse traffic. And there's the original gate. You'll have to say it's seen better days, but it's still there with substantial ironwork holding it together. How very historic. Built by the railway. The path that's laid out for us, I think, is along here, up there, and then we backtrack then. But that looks a better alternative, is to go along there, pick up the yellow trails through into there. Give it a shot. It just depends on picking up the yellow path. Or simples. Watch this space. And this has something to do with the railway. Although looking there, it looks a bit steep for a railway. Of course, the thing is to make sure that you're concentrating on looking for marker posts and not just concentrating on a camera. That's not very helpful. Nor is that. Got to be the correct route though. Well, that's the way we've just come. So that denotes a corner to me. Give it a shot, it looks pretty enough. Nice, well surfaced. Oh, you wouldn't want that on your head, would you? There. somewhere. Oh, glad of the chippings. A bit damp there. It's all starting to close in a bit here. It's exciting, isn't it? From where you're sitting. It's the odd yellow blaze on a tree would be useful. I guess there aren't too many places you can go wrong. That's a pretty sight, look. In amongst some tall pines. Didn't see those on the map. And that looks like something from the Florida Everglades. Old root system. Well, okay. Didn't see that coming. What we need now is a "you are here." Yeah, still on track. Oh, I knew we were. Along here, I think. Yellow and blue. Then green. With a little bit of red. Seems to be the course. Not very inviting. We'll ignore that, but worth looking at the lake, I think. Well, we can't come all this way and then not look at the lake. But he's happy enough. We've got the woodpecker's favourite tree. Don't think he's home though. The old tree's fallen. Rush is off to our right. Getting close. A nice bridge. And a large body of water. That'll be a lake there. A better shot. Yeah, altogether a rather pretty location. None of which gets us back home. So, was it carry on to the red path followed by the green, or follow on to the green path followed by the red? It's right for you, it was a while ago for me. Path turns, crossroads. Let's hope this is simple. Hopeless, right. Well, I'm going to follow my nose now. Oh, we've got a "you are here" coming up. Thank goodness. I have to say, this has a familiar look about it. It's the railway. Yeah, I wasn't worried. So from here it's just a matter of retracing steps. Should be that simple. Unless of course we come up with an exciting alternative. Probably had too much excitement for one day. Not good for my little ticker. Hidden at the side of the rail in the undergrowth. What did that say then? Whistle? There's a few crossings around here. Well, that was a beautiful walk, wasn't it? Some lovely country parkland there for people to enjoy. And an historic railway to boot. Can't be bad. This might be slightly illegal, but rather than turn off left here and go through the fields, that's where we came, we'll stay on the track bed down to the level crossing. See how long we can stay here. That's the way we came. We're now on the embankment. It's not far. Railway sleeper bridge. With a bit of old rail doing a job. Into the woods. There's a depression on our right. I don't know if you'll make it out. Difficult enough without a camera. Oh, that's the railway heading off down to our level crossing. And I'd bet a small amount of money. In fact, that there is a railway fence post. I'm not going in to find out. And we're legal again. Back to the old level crossing. That's it, folks. Job done.